Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, the men and women of the 18th Wing Staff Agency extends a warm welcome to the family and friends who have joined us today as we pay tribute to Senior Master Sergeant Scott Etler on the occasion of his retirement from the United States Air Force after 24 years of honorable service. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is the Deputy Commander of the 18th Operations Group, Lieutenant Colonel Herbert L. Clayton. At this time, we would like to give a special welcome to Senior Master Sergeant Etler's wife, Nicole, and their two children, Jeremy and Jonah. Thank you for your support and contributions during his years of service. We are also privileged to have a distinguished guest here with us today, the Vice Commander, 18th Wing, Colonel Christopher Amron. We would also like to welcome all commanders, chiefs, supervisors, co-workers, and friends who have joined us for this significant event. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, the presentation of the colors, and the playing of the national anthems, followed by the invocation.
Cut. Attention. Hut. Forward. Halt. Ready. 2. Forward. Hut. Colors. Halt. Precinct. Halt. Halt. Colors turn. Heart. Ready. 2.
Chaplain Moore, please come forward to give the invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, this is a day of excitement, a day of anticipation, and a day of rejoicing. And we thank you for this occasion to celebrate the career and retirement of Senior Master Sergeant Scott Etler. Heavenly Father, you have led him on a 24-year path in the work of both crew chief and command post. 24 years of traveling, work, friends, joys, challenges, and Air Force life in general. And we thank you that you've brought him here to this momentous point today. We thank you for the sacrifices he's made in serving his country. We're thankful for his service. We also thank you for the ways that he's positively impacted his coworkers, supervisors, and subordinates. We know that they are better people because of him. As he prepares to leave active duty service, we ask that your blessing would be upon him as he moves with his family to Cape Cod. We ask that you would guide him to a new job that would bless him mightily, and a new career and a new chapter in his life. Lastly, Lord, we thank you, along with Scott, for what a blessing his family members have been to him through these years. Bless his wife, Nicole. Bless his sons, Jeremy and Jonah. Bless his brother, David. And bless his parents, Dave and Diane, all of whom have shown so much support for him over the last 24 years as he served his country. Thank you again for this wonderful occasion to celebrate Scott. May he have many more fruitful years in this next phase of life. We ask this in your most holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Clayton.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. As has been stated by the narrator and the chaplain, what we're doing today is, which is kind of awesome, is celebrating Senior Scott Etler's transition with his family. To be honest with you, I'm humbled for the opportunity to do this for this man, great individual. And if there's any stumbling or anything that's silly, that's all on me. All right. But bear with me while I kind of walk through this, because this is an important day. And it's kind of a big day. You can see I got notes. The primary reason I got notes is to save you folks. Because if I stick through these index cards, I won't ramble on longer, because I've known him. We've had the opportunity to work together. We talked to each other off the ledge a couple of times. And yeah, folks know what I'm talking about there. And so, and after going through his records, I had to do this to keep me from rambling on and just going down rabbit holes. All right, so everybody know what I'm doing with these things, right? I won't throw them on the floor like I typically do, but all right. So, my goal is to kind of look at kind of three themes. All right, three themes that just to kind of wrap them together. And it's going to be Scott's family, a little bit of Scott's career, and I'm going to end up with Scott the man. And the reason I'm calling him Scott is, yeah, I'm calling him Scott. He's getting ready to retire. We're both getting ready to retire. You're going to see us in the BX with cotton blue pants, white shoes, with a buckle, pulled up to here, fussing about, we talked about it yesterday, fussing about why they moved Campbell's noodle soup in the commissary. So, but with that, I'll start out talking a little bit about the family. All right, so all families normally start, well, not all, but most of the time families start with a wonderful man and a wonderful woman, right? But some families have theme songs, okay? So we're getting ready to play kind of a theme song real quick, just a snippet of it, just to kind of take you back in time just a little bit, okay? Go ahead. Now, okay, hold it, pause. Now what's cool is, nobody else got it. He's giggling and she's giggling because they get it. Part of my task is to kind of lay this out just a little bit. All right, so let's go back in time to somewhere around about 1992. He's in Germany, she's in Germany, and he goes to this Prince concert in Germany. and he's eyeballing somebody again now. 10% rule. I'm invoking the 10% rule. His name is Scott. Her name is Nikki. So that's everything after this I can say alone. But what I'm saying is, they met, not really met according to him. They saw each other at a Prince concert, and then later, I guess he had the opportunity to go with his supervisor to. They went out and maybe got a Milwaukee Beach or something at that time. But anyway, he ends up seeing Nikki at another location. And so they say, hey, I kind of remember you. I kind of remember seeing you. Oh, I kind of remember seeing you too. Well, they found out that they saw each other at the Prince concert. And I'll just say from that start, the rest is kind of history. So you two guys, you got that? You recording it? Did you know that, man? I just want to make sure. But every now and then, man, I'll throw something out. And you'd be like, oh, yeah. But anyway, so that, when he told me that, I kind of started chuckling because some of us are old enough to remember when that tour was out. I had the opportunity yesterday, the first time to meet Nikki, and it was awesome. It's just like I ran into somebody that we've been friends for years. She's got this awesome, perky personality, so much so, I don't know, there's certain torrents over there. She's been working hard right now. Her fingers are quivering because she's just been working. But yesterday we were skipping in, and she about blew a fuse because we run through the practice yesterday. Everybody can't do that, folks. And she did it with class, and we just had a blast yesterday going through it. And it kind of gave me insight, and it was awesome just to give me just a snapshot of the inside of their family. All right, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. One thing, when we were sitting around preparing this the other day, it was kind of cool because maybe his words for you after we were talking about different stuff, as he's kind of looking out from the distance, the words that he had for you just simply amazing. And I just kind of chuckled. I'm like, and then when I met you yesterday, I'm going, all right, dude, I can see that. I see where you get that. So, my friend, you know you have a treasure. And you know that you're simply amazing.
You're starting off like this?
All right, I'm working through as fast as I can. No one's having in the clock. All right. I will, Scott talks about, and you'll see, and just to point out one more thing, if you looked at the program, you're going to see where this man kind of lays his heart out on his sleeve a little bit, right? I think like page 3 or 4, where he just kind of let you know, kind of giving a background of kind of the individual that he is. And because you don't see that very often. You know, most of us kind of play, you know, kind of close kimono. We kind of keep our, but the interesting thing and the reason we talk each other off the ledge is he's open kimono. What you see is what you got. And that's awesome. And you don't see that very often anymore. And I know that's a trait that folks don't treasure, but I treasure it a lot. So anyway, just some of the things like, all right, I guess take my cards because I'll start running down the rabbit hole. All right, Jeremy. Man, hold the camera. Hey, everybody. Say hello to Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy. All right, Jeremy, he was born in Trier, Germany. He is currently attending the say it.
Massachusetts.
There you go, because I can't say it because I mess up the shoes when I get through there. But anyway, he's at the Mass Maritime Academy. Wicked smart, kind of growing a beard, kind of trying to be an old school naval dude. Was talking about having a pipe a little bit later, but you know, but the big thing there is, man's still clocking a 4.0. Now here's what's interesting about that. Though some of us are, you know, we got older kids. It's one thing if your kids are close by. It's a whole other thing if they're out there. You understand what I mean? We happen to be on the other side of the mud ball. And what is unique, just meeting him yesterday, which we were just laughing yesterday about the beard and everything else, is that he's still holding a 4.0. He's still making his parents proud. He's still holding it down, although they're separated by all this time. And the other thing, too, to kind of talk about you just a little bit, like he said, she was amazing. He was just sitting there just kind of going, when he was just rambling off about you, it's just funny. You know, I'm a dad myself, so I kind of get it. But I was just chuckling because I get kind of like, dude, I know where you're going with this. And then again, yesterday after meeting you, it was awesome. So one thing that you don't get to hear very much from us dads because he's all rough and everything, but sometimes you hear from someone else. Dude, I'm just here to tell you that, dude, your dad loves you a lot. He loves both of you guys a lot. And I'm going to walk through here. I'm going to get you Mr. Stoic Man here in just a minute. But the thing is, I think a lot of times it's important to know that because sometimes it gets missed in translation. And you know your dad's a hug. You put him outside the school. All right. Now, Jonah. Hey, everybody. Say hi to Jonah. Hi, Jonah. All right. Jonah is the stoic, well, not stoic. He is the rock of the bunch. The way it was kind of explained to me is he's one of those guys that, hey, man, the building's on fire. Well, I guess we you better walk a little faster, man. So since I met him over the last 2 days, he is kind of like cool as a cucumber, man. He just got it going on. It just doesn't get frazzled. And that's what he was saying. He's like, dude, he just holds it down, man. We'll get out sideways and start pouring light fluid on ourselves, lightning running around. He's like, man, what are you doing that? But he said, Joe, he's like, hey, man, he said, dude, you're the kind of rock that holds everything down. And that's nice. And I kind of see the different personalities. And again, to have the opportunity to just kind of spend a little bit of time with the family and just kind of see that its assessment was accurate. It was kind of awesome. All right, here's what I think I like, and I highlighted here. Yep, I highlighted. Was, hey, check this out. I mean, you don't hear this very often. Your dad likes to hang around you guys. Now, I know you guys in that stage like, get the hell away from your dad. But, dude, that's awesome. If your dad, because here's what you need. To have an opportunity to grow up in your family. Yeah, your dad's always going to be your dad, but sometimes we get those ages where you don't necessarily have to be friends. A lot of times we take it for granted that we're going to be friends, but dude, that's not always so. So I'm saying you two cats and you're in a unique situation, man. You kind of like each other, which is kind of awesome. And, dude, you guys are tight. And that's nice. And it's nice to watch. All right? Yep, he says, oh yeah, here goes. Quote from your daddy. He realizes, well, both of them realize, but he's speaking both of you. He says he realizes that both of you guys are a gift, and to remind the parents of what's important. To remind them both of what's important. All right? All right. Now we're going to shift off from you guys. Dude, you just cute as a cucumber. You're like, man, I ain't even here right now. Way to hold it down, man. All right. I'm going to shift a little bit, and I'm going to talk about Senior's career. According to Senior, quote, he was I'll change it a little bit. He was a smart-mouthed buttocks hole from Foulmouth, Mass. Said he kind of rode in, said he was kind of cocky. And I started laughing because some of us were kind of the same way, but as is in his bio, he's at 15 crew chief. He's at 15 crew chief at Bitburg, and we already talked about how they met. But one thing that I thought that was unique and what's going to, I kind of set up his whole career just to kind of show you the kind of individual he is. He talks about Staff Sergeant Mitchell. See, there was a time in the Air Force where people loved you enough to grab you by the scruff of the neck and, I don't know, kick you in the buttocks because they loved you enough. And I like to equate it to, if you got a 2-year-old, you're not going to let them walk out in the street, right? No matter how long they cry. Well, there used to be a time in the Air Force where we did this to each other and we're in our 20s, all right? So anyway, according to Senior Etler, Staff Sergeant Mitchell used to kind of pick on him, call him Scotty Bag of Donuts. Is that correct? Scotty Bag of Donuts. As a derogatory term, folks. Some of you young folks are like, I like that. No, man, it's not good. It's not good. But anyway, he challenged him. He challenged Scott, hey, dude, you better step up your game. Used to folks would look you in the eyeball and go, hey, man, you need to step up. Because back in the day, they wouldn't let you out. You stand. You owed Uncle Sugar 4 years. You give Uncle Sugar 4 years. Ain't nobody gonna let you go home, go to your grandma's, sit on the porch. I know you guys are spoiled with that now. But because Staff Sergeant Mitchell took the time to mentor him, this kind of set him up and really provides some of the mentorship that's coming back to you guys that are here. All right. So he did that. Crew chief. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Stand by. I got a 3. I had a 2. Don't panic, Curb. All right, it is. 2 is right before 3. All right. After that, after he left Bitburg, went to Spain Garland and was a maintenance debriefer. Now, what I'm going to do, because you remember I had these cards. I could talk all day about all the unique accomplishments that are in his records. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch on some of the words and some of the themes. So here we go. Let's see, we did that. Here we go. So he's at Spain, maintenance debriefer. Foundational theme, precise, timely, consistent. And another thing you're going to see a lot is establishing training. So he's a senior airman, he's building databases, and he's improving operations at Spain. All right? So after he spends his time at Spain Garland, he transitions to Nellis. Now he mentions that Nellis was kind of a tough transition for y'all. But here's what you young pups got to figure out. See, the only way that you're able to have old marriages is you got to roll through the young marriage part. All right? You guys, most times you quit too soon. But what's awesome is because he mentioned that, and I've been married a little bit myself. You have those times. And so I was kind of chuckling. He said, yeah, no, it's kind of a tough transition, but we worked through it. And they worked through it, and dude, what happened, man? Jonah came out. Anyway, Jonah was born in Nellis. So what I'm saying is, so they did that. They were at Nellis, and this is where he transitioned into being an emergency action controller. First time you read it, man, it makes you think of like a dude with a cape. Y'all know if you guys are old enough to remember those $6 million man that had the army clipped up. Colonel Ambrose, remember, man, you look at the bag, man, had a little engine block with it and everything. Go look it up on Google, man. But anyway, he was an emergency action controller. But here's in his first OPR after he transitioned. Senior Airman Etler displays continuous dedication and performance as a seasoned controller. Keep going through those. Becoming an expert, superior job knowledge. He's level-headed. Let's see here. Oh, and here's the other thing. He was doing all this while he was going through the transition and going to school working on his associates. Again, to kind of let you know the caliber of individual that is. It's not just one thing. Again, folks, this is what's great about this main example. Hey, I got a lot of stuff going on, but I'm not putting down one and sitting there boo-hooing on Ricky Lake, right? Stuff getting it out, sucking it up, and working through it. Again, you're going to see this throughout this whole thing. Now let's see here. Continue. I wrote this because I kept going. All right, this is funny. All right. I was talking to some controllers. I'll talk about it a little bit later. But here's the thing. So at some point, he had 5 airmen that was working for him, working on their CDCs. And he made sure that they all got at least an 87 average. So I could just see him just eyeballing folks. A lot of them just want to do our CDCs, take our 72 and go on. But he said not so much. So what's unique is, again, it shows leadership as a young NCO. And while he's doing this, he's volunteering for the Wildlife Reserve. And what was cool out there is my #1 go-to NCO at Nellis. All right? Now, after he spent his time at Nellis, he had the opportunity to transition back to Spain Golf. But this time, not as on the crew chief, but now as a senior emergency action controller. And this is what's funny. And after being with him here, and he and I worked together on the WIT team, and we won't go into that right now because we'll start drinking too early. But what I'm saying is that, but now I get it, because when he was talking me off the ledge, he's talking me off the ledge based on experience. I just know something's not right, and it don't feel right. And he's telling me why it's not right. So now I got a reason to be mad, no, I'm sorry, instead of just pure emotion. But the big thing is, he goes as a senior action controller there, and it talks about him discovering and correcting 200 training discrepancies. The man sat down there with a clipboard and he built a test bank of 420 questions. You folks that work with CMS Arnell, you can see him doing that right now, can't you? Yeah. But anyway, it started a long time ago. I'm just checking. But anyway, it talks about, this is what I thought was unique about this OPR. You don't hear this very much. It talks about loyalty and integrity among his peers. Here's why that's kind of a big deal. You can have loyalty going vertically. But when somebody recognizes the loyalty going horizontal, that's kind of a big deal, I think. Because you know what that means? That means you get the whole 360 degrees, folks. You got it vertically, you got it horizontal. Again, you're going to see this theme with him throughout his career. So, he's there. Then, for some crazy reason, he decided to do a stint in protocol. Where's protocol people at? They're over there hiding somewhere. So the people that are around, just mess with those cats. But anyway, he spent some time at protocol. For those of you that are not familiar with protocol, it is a big deal. Because you're the face of the wing, you're the face of the wing commander for everybody who's coming in, TVs and all kinds of stuff. And it is a big deal. But he was NCOIC at a wing protocol that had there in Spain that had 75 DBs annually. He had over 12 wing ceremonies, worked SACAF visit, common safety. So again, out front, doing the mission, leading, representing the wing. Went back to the controller area there with the NCOIC of training and evaluations. And then I'm just going to hit some of the highlights again. Unequal trainer, outstanding performer, was an excellence award winner, top performer in every category. It's like NCO of the quarter, I don't know, a bunch of times. Again, I'm not belittling it. It's just that it's so common with the guy. NCO of the year, awesome. In the winter of 2004, they went to Guam. Hung out at Anderson for a while, where he was the NCOIC at console operations. Again, I'm just going to go through some of the highlights of the OPR again. Revised, artful. And when I say revised, you go through the man is revamping and revising training plans all the time. He's fine, and here's the thing. If he's finding something that's not right or can be improved, he is improving it. A lot of us sit back and drag our knuckles across the carpet and we see something and we go, oh, dude, that should be changed. The man's changing stuff. Everybody with me? Can I get a hit nod? That makes a lot of sense, right? All right, so all of us, we need to step up our game just a little bit. But here we go. Revised, artful, excellent communicator, sets the standard. NCO of the year, again, number 1 of 10 NCOs, same thing. He gets to go back to Germany again. And he said, man, I need to go back to Germany. He was saying, here's it, I'm ready to go back to Germany right now. But dude, you've been to Germany, what, about 7 or 8 times? All right, anyway. They go back to Ramstein. He's NCOIC of USAFE Command Center Console Ops. Oh man, he gets the big P word. Y'all know what the P word is? Phenomenal. It sounds like an F, but it starts with a P. He gets the big P word. So, and here we go again. Now, because he's a little bit senior, he mentors, still revising, revamping, and this right here is a quote from a 2-star that in my head, I'm old school. I just saw Mary Lou Retton just dismounting off the balance beam when I saw that. Like, ta-da! There's a 2-star that said, and I'll put it in my 2-star words, I wish I could clone it. So that was the funniest right there. Dude. I'll give you the OPR. See me after I'll burn it. But yeah, a 2-star says he wishes he could clone the man. So when Scott heard that clone thing, he's like, man, I can't get up out of here. So then he left. And then he went to the 603rd ALC. He was the superintendent of the Air Mobility Control Team. Check this out. Overhauled the SITREP process. Authored the C2 fan course for the tanker wing there. Again, revamp, revise, do, not sitting around waiting for somebody else to fix stuff. Let's see here. Still at Ramstein. He goes to the IG team as superintendent. He's the chief of C2 inspector. Verified proficient in 51 command post controllers, Pin 5 nuclear generation of evals. And now, here's a new theme, because now it's Senior Master Sergeant, right? So now the new theme on his OPRs is promote to chief first board, promote to chief, promote to chief, promote to chief, promote to chief. Everybody does understand what I mean by chief, right? All right, except you, man, you don't know. Just mess with you. But the thing is, when you start hitting that, that's the theme now. Promote to chief, promote to chief. All right? And that to me, because you don't have to say that about everybody. All right. Now, he arrived here in the spring of 2012. While he was here, most of us are familiar with the work that he's done while he's here, but just to touch on a few things. He devised a contaminated aircraft recall plan. He and I worked diligently with the WIT team. Those who were laughing, yes, he did. It was a lot of work, but a lot of that work was done by him. A lot of it's kind of guided through the process while we're standing up with the WIT team, and a lot of the make-key processes here. That stuff is difficult, folks. A lot of you folks don't have to play and do that stuff. This man has been down there doing this for a long time. So when you get a brand new rig that you're mad that you got to go change and update, everybody forgets about the person who revamped, revise, and redid. All right? So this is one of those individuals. All right, let's see. Guest speaker, NCO grad, visionary leader. And this is what I thought was an interesting quote from General Hacker. General Hacker said on his OPR, he's committed to people first and mission second. All right, now here's what's cool about that. One of the bumper stickers that I hate, again, because I'm old school, was it mission first, people always. I don't particularly care for that a whole lot. But the thing I like about this is because I would imagine that Senior Etler remembers the old quote from Vandenberg many, many moons ago. General Vandenberg used to say, if you take care of the people, they'll take care of the mission. He understands that. And we talked about that a little bit the other day. He understands that if he gives you people the resources and he trains you and he gives you, you'll take care of the mission. So he can drop that to the side because he's trusting the folks that he's mentoring to take the mission. Does that make sense? And I think that's an awesome, I think really that just kind of made me check on like, yeah, I can see that. He and I talked about the troops. We talked about the folks that he's mentoring and leading right now. And he said, hey, I'm passionate, and I'm tough on it. Because I think his words were, everybody has an opportunity for growth. And his whole goal was to, hey, I'm going to find out where you need to grow, and I'm going to fertilize you and make you grow. But now the thing is that he cares enough, folks, to make you expand and grow and make you better at what you're doing. And what I'm saying is, everybody's not going to do that. And I think that's kind of unique. Then I went up to the shop. I rolled in over command post one day last week, and I just started walking up to folks, and I said, hey, they're all giggling right now. I said, hey, give me 3 words to describe Senior Master Sergeant Etler. No talking, just 3 words. I had a bunch of passionates with everything he does. He's demanding perfection sometimes. There was one short man complex, but I figured that was an outlier. He's committed. He's visible, and he's a mentor. And what I'm seeing is throughout his whole career, you can see that in his OPRs, AD boys, you've been able to see that in the man's life. And this is what I'm trying to hammer out right here. And I think that was, yeah. What I'm trying to hammer out, although we're recognizing him in his military career of being a senior master sergeant and all the bells and whistles and all that stuff in the year, I just want to pause a minute because the issue is we want to celebrate the man with the foundation that's under that. You happen to be a senior master sergeant. You happen to be these different things. But what we're talking about right now is the man. And so, with that, and I'll probably talk longer than I really meant to, I think he said, and we were talking the other day because he and I both were transitioning here pretty soon. And we were laughing, we were kind of like, yeah, dude, it's going to be kind of nice just to kind of transition kind of back to being normal for a little bit. And that's what he's thinking of you guys. He's like, yeah, dude, it's time to put the family first. Let's settle out and kind of transition back to home. And that's, and again, remember we talked about it, made it passionate as well. So, with that, Senior Master Sergeant Scott Etler, thank you, sir, for your 24 years of service serving in my Air Force. I really appreciate everything that you have done for me and for the people in the 18th Wing and all the controllers. Sir, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Meritorious Service Medal to Senior Master Sergeant Scott C. Etler. Senior Master Sergeant Scott C. Etler distinguished himself in performance of outstanding service to the United States as the Superintendent of Command Post, 18th Wing, Kadena Air Base, Japan. During this period, Sergeant Etler's exemplary leadership guided a command post of 26 airmen through a merger of the 733rd Air Mobility Command Center and the 18th Wing Command Post. He accomplished this while simultaneously leading a full command post renovation, ultimately achieving full operational capability and meeting the Chief of Staff of the Air Force's One Command Post vision. Additionally, Sergeant Etler secured $3,000 for a console upgrade, sourcing 4 additional console positions at no cost and saving the Air Force $60,000. Furthermore, he launched Kadena Air Base's first mass notification system, effectively extending the 18th Wing's emergency management capabilities to 9,000 personnel and dependents. Finally, Sergeant Etler guided the 18th Wing's recovery operations of both an F-15 and HH-60 mishap by coordinating and energizing joint search and rescue operations, enabling the safe rescue of a pilot and the recovery of a fallen airman. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Senior Master Sergeant Etler culminate a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Please remain standing for the reading of the retirement order. Attention to orders. Special order number AC-005766. Effective 30 September 2015, you are relieved from active duty, organization, and station of assignment retired effective 1 October 2015 per Air Force Instruction 363203 in the grade of Senior Master Sergeant. Please be seated. Senior Master Sergeant Etler will now be presenting his certificate of retirement.
I'm ready to go. I thought that was over. It's where God practices.
It reads, to all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Senior Master Sergeant Scott C. Etler, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of October 2015. Signed, Barry R. Cornish, Commander, 18th Wing, and Mark A. Welsh, Chief of Staff. Senior Master Sergeant Etler will now receive 2 certificates of appreciation. The first reads, I extend you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation for a grateful nation of your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history, with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief.
It's a real signature.
The second reads, I am proud to join your friends and family in congratulating you on your retirement from the United States Air Force. Senior Master Sergeant Scott Etler, the achievements and contributions you have made throughout your career are indicative of the core values of our great services. Your retirement is well deserved, but your selfless contributions will be sorely missed. On behalf of all airmen, thank you for your faithful and devoted service to our nation. As this chapter in your life closes and a new one begins, I hope the years ahead are filled with more great memories and continued success. Given this first day of October 2015, signed James A. Cody, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Mrs. Etler, will you please join your husband to pin on his retirement pin and remain standing with him? This pin is worn with pride. It signifies to all that the wearer has served his country well and honorably.
It's not working.
It's not working. I'm sorry. Mrs. Etler will now be presented with 2 certificates of appreciation and flowers. The first reads, in grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Mrs. Nicole Etler for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense.